Hi again, everyone. Alex again. In this series of videos, we're going to look at the different dashboard pages and what's on them. So let's look at the Cove's aggregate data dashboard first. The aggregate and institution-specific dashboards look very similar, so if we walk through everything on the aggregate dashboard, you'll get a good idea of what's on the institutional one. We'll start with the aggregate data summary page. So you can tell what page you're on by looking at these tabs up at the top here. This dashboard has two public pages, aggregate data summary in comparison to aggregate, and one private page that I've created to test charts, but you can ignore that one. So let's start with the experience rating section. This section contains the Net Promoter Score, overall experience rating, key drivers, and individual experience ratings. So first, the Net Promoter Score here is a question about the respondent's likelihood to recommend your institution to a friend or colleague. Respondents answer on a scale of 0 to 10 and are grouped into three categories on that basis. People who rate a 0 to 6 are called detractors, 7 or 8 are called passives, and 9 or 10 are called promoters. So you subtract the percentage of detractors from the percentage of promoters, and you get a Net Promoter Score. The score, as well as the promoter passive detractor breakdown, are both displayed on the dashboard. In this example, you'll see that subtracting 4% detractors from 75% promoters gives you a Net Promoter Score of 71. So 75 minus 4 is 71. Next is the overall experience rating. This is a simple question on the survey asking visitors to rate their experience as poor, fair, good, excellent, or superior. Research from the museum field has suggested that this scale can provide more nuance in some ways than Net Promoter Score in separating visitor experiences that were excellent from those that were truly superior, but we like to have both scores together. These half-circle gauge charts below show the individual experience ratings that visitors rate on a scale of 0 to 10 on the survey. The gauge charts show the average rating for a number of dimensions related to the museum or science center experience, such as staff helpfulness, restroom cleanliness, the overall quality of the educational experience, etc. And then these two charts below, there's two charts that look like this. They're called key driver analysis charts. They show all of the experience ratings along with how closely they correlate with the Net Promoter Score. The horizontal axis simply shows the average rating for the metric expressed as a percentage. So for example, this dot for educational experience, it says 91%. If you scroll back up, the average rating is a 9.1, so they correspond. The vertical axis shows the degree of correlation with the Net Promoter Score, so the scale is from a 0 to 1, where 1 would be perfect correlation. The first chart shows entertainment experience, educational experience, and value-cost ratio. We call these the loyalty ratings sometimes because they are also overall measures of the museum experience, sort of like a Net Promoter Score. And if you hover over the dot, you'll see the average, you'll see the correlation, and then you'll see the sample size. The size of the dot corresponds to the sample size as well. The bigger the dot, the more responses we have for it. So then we'll scroll down here, and the second chart is for the experience ratings, or the things that could be directly influenced or more closely correlated to specific aspects of the museum experience. When you look at this chart, you'll see that every rating gets assigned a color based on which quadrant it's in. When you look at the charts, you'll want to keep an eye on the green ones, or any ratings that are highly correlated with NPS. If they are also highly rated, aka they're green, keep it up. If they're highly correlated and poorly rated or colored red, you may have a place to focus to improve Net Promoter Score. These are all colored blue, which means they're highly rated, but not particularly correlated with Net Promoter Score. These correlations look different for each institution, and they can change over time as well. You may also not see any ratings that are highly correlated with Net Promoter Score, as we see in this chart here.